You can't throw a stone without hitting an LGBT person here in Washington, D.C. It is amazing. And I think in part it's become like that because we've made it that way.
It's Sunday in Washington, D.C., and Nellie's, a gay-friendly sports bar on U Street, is hosting its weekly drag brunch. Compared to the 50 states, D.C. has the highest concentration of gay people in the country. 10% of adults in the District of Columbia identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender, according to a Gallup poll. That's nearly 3 times the national rate of 3.5%, and twice as much as the next closest state, Hawaii. And it's no secret in this city, which largely embraces this segment of the population.
This has become more of a neighborhood bar where people commingle. So it's very busy with a lot of gay patrons, but the straights and neighborhood sports fans all still come too.
I've been doing drag now for 16 years. And when I first started out, I wouldn't even come out my house in drag. I wouldn't walk down the street in drag. I wouldn't drive in my car in drag. But now since gay is everywhere and everybody is more accepted in life now, I can go out my house. I don't mind who's seeing me while I'm in drag.
However, the nation's capital wasn't always as accepting as it is now.
You know, when I was working downtown for Associated Press, I walked down K Street, it would have been about 92, 93, and held my boyfriend's hand on K Street. People just goggled at us, you know, you just didn't see that kind of stuff back then. That kind of stuff was kept to 17th Street, and you would stop holding hands by the time you got to 15th Street because you were starting to get into neighborhoods where you didn't want to get beaten up.
Even in the 90s, when Bill Clinton became the first president to appoint openly gay people to his administration, and Barney Frank became the first openly gay congressman, Washington was hardly a beacon of tolerance.
I was interviewing to be Dick Gephardt's deputy chief of staff when he was the House Majority Leader. And I said, you know, should I tell him I'm gay? And Barney said, no, you're not interviewing to be his gay deputy chief of staff. You're interviewing to be his deputy chief of staff.
Around the same time, Robert Raben, then counsel to Frank, confronted homophobia in Congress directly.
In a spewing of bipartisan homophobia, 3 members of the Oklahoma delegation announced that they wouldn't hire anyone who's gay. Here I was, a homosexual lawyer working on the Hill, and I thought, did this just happen? These people down the hall said they wouldn't employ a homosexual? Maybe they don't know that we're here. So I and a group of others formed a Lesbian and Gay Congressional Staff Association. The fact of outing ourselves and standing on the steps of the Capitol and saying this is who we are proved to be an important step for a lot of people.
Fred Sainz of the Human Rights Campaign, the nation's largest LGBT equality lobbying group, which is based here in D.C., has a theory that D.C. attracts young LGBT men and women precisely because it's a place where they can influence a national discussion.
LGBT people, in part by their very own nature, want to bring change to American society. They are deeply invested in a progressive society, one that invites a great variety and diversity of ideas, of progress. And so I think that is in part what has driven LGBT people to become concentrated here in the nation's capital.
Once DC turned the corner on gay rights and allowed gay marriage, it was like the floodgates opened up. So for a gay African-American man in this city, it is a little bit easier than if I were to go out west and go to San Francisco. So there's not going to be as much of a challenge for me to fit in culturally. So that I do believe that DC has something special.
So, as LGBT activists worked in DC to make the country more progressive, that made DC more progressive, in turn attracting even more LGBT men and women.
It's just socially people talk to each other now. Socially people accept each other, and you know, straight people in general don't look at the LGBT community as others, they look at us as neighbors. And I didn't used to always feel that way.
We're going to play a little trivia game and give you a chance to win some money off your bar tab. Maybe 10, maybe 10.
Back at Nellie's on a weeknight, that's abundantly clear. The crowd here is diverse and focused on trivia more than anything else.
1 minute is past, your time is up.
Honestly, I come here quite often. Even though it's like a gay bar, I never look at it like that. It's just a bar in the city. I did.